Hello,
Hey.
friends.
Hey.
Welcome to the
Hey.
Cinemondo podcast. Kathy, Mark, and whatever. And
Big old Burk in the middle.
yeah,
Hey, I love the new opening.
So
Always
fun.
interesting. Yeah, I like everything about it. It's great.
Changing things up a little bit.
Like to
yeah.
keep things fresh.
Very cool.
nothing
Yeah.
stays the same.
No, we're
Well-
evolving like everything else.
Yeah.
Revolving and evolving.
Yes.
Well, we'll do a trailer reaction for a new Netflix series that just came on. Before we talk about that, let's do a quick shout out to our YouTube membership program. For $2.99, you get those yellow things, which are all really fun and cool. And for an extra $2, you get all that plus you can request videos that we'll talk about and review. And we have a Slack channel where our community of Cinemondoites chit chat about everything. Movies.
That's right. Except sports.
Everything.
Not sports. Don't make us do it. Okay.
If somebody asks a sports question, somebody would have to answer.
I just
Somebody
leave.
would have to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
I don't
Um,
get it. Okay.
We're going to talk about a Netflix series, a German-produced series called 1899 that is made by the same guys that did Dark, which ashamed to say I've not seen, but I've heard it was great. We're kind of dark and gothic horror. It's supposed to be really well received. Something I want to watch. I did watch the first episode of this, so I'm letting everybody know.
Oh,
But
you cheated.
I did. But it's the same guys, and it's a German production, but the languages is German, English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Polish, Danish, Swedish, Cantonese, Japanese. Everything's in here. So,
Wow. Okay.
so check it out.
Is that
Take
a
look at
plot
the trailer.
point that there's like a million different nationalities in here? I wonder.
It takes
Is
place
it
on
like Noah's Ark or something?
It
Raleigh.
takes place on the ship. So there
Okay.
you go.
Noah's Ark. What'd I say?
Well, it's
I
kind
figured
of
it out.
it's kind of like that show that we watched. What was it called? Now I can't remember the name of it. That was the
lost
Japanese
track of-
American detective. The Japanese detective comes to America.
right.
It was called. What was it called?
Yeah, with Justin Long. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it had Japanese and English, and it sort of went back and forth, so you
Right,
get sort of a
right.
real international vibe to it. It's better than having, when you go to Japan and having the actors speaking English just to make it easier, like
Right.
in old war movies where all the Nazis were speaking English with a German accent.
Tora.
Yeah.
So
And the-
confusing.
The
Yeah.
Japanese people were speaking English with a Japanese accent, and it was like
I like hearing the languages. I like hearing. it.
Yeah.
Well, this one has that. So
All right. Let's take a
check it
look.
out.
All right.
1899.
Let's see. Are we ready?
Ready to go? Action!
6 hours ago, we received a message. We believe this comes from the Prometheus.
You think the passengers, they're still alive? Il a coulé. C'est la seule explication possible, sinon on l'aurait retrouvé.
Vienna, Nichols.
Capitan, we paid good money for this trip. 7 days to get to New York, no detours.
Gdzie oni wszyscy są?
O Helion. Må vi blive bevaret fra det onde. Fra al verdens falskhed.
None of this makes any sense.
Ein Pulverfass, das kurz davor ist zu explodieren.
Todos llevamos máscaras. Mientras intentamos esconder quién somos.
You're not asking all the right questions. You have to wake up. It's a God's way.
Wow. Okay. I thought that looked really fun. I have a little bit of a pet peeve of where they feel like they have to put some cool modern song on something that's clearly from another time. But,
Right.
let's put Jimi Hendrix in there and make this look hip.
Yeah,
But-
I don't understand that either.
I mean, it's cool. I love the song. The visuals are great, but why? Yeah.
It's the lyrics, they were like, must be some way
it's
out
very
of here. So
on
it's
their
like,
nose.
yeah,
Very on the
yeah.
nose. Yes,
well,
very.
also at the end of the first episode, I'll say this: they play the Jefferson Airplane. Go ask Alice.
Right. I was
So-
about to say that one is big right now. That's in
Oh, yeah.
everything.
That would,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, next thing you know, they're going to play Kate Bush running up a hill. So then,
Yeah.
then we'll know they're really hip when they play that one again. Everyone's doing it now.
Yeah,
But overall, I think that looks really fun. I mean, like I think we mentioned it off mic, is that this kind of looks like Lost in a way, a little bit, like people kind of contained on
What's
this
going on?
mysterious- Yeah. There's got to be a
Yes.
way out of here.
but there's always these can always be a great setup. But the question is, do they pay off? And of course,
Well,
Lost
Lost
was
sure
one of the
didn't pay
classic
off.
the failure of all time.
Painful.
So that's always how, can you bring it home at the end?
Yeah.
It's an 8-episode
Yeah.
series. Can they do it? You know?
Well, it's the idea is that you set up a premise like this, and that is not where your work ends. That was the thing that I felt like with Lost.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, it would be so cool if they discovered a hatch in an underground research facility on the island, and some creature like a black smoke thing, and they didn't think it through. It was like,
Right.
why? What is the point of that? Where does that go? Who did it?
Yeah.
Why? What is it?
Right.
Exactly.
And unless you do that with your stories, then you're just creating interesting set pieces. You're just making a pointless assemblage of cool stuff that's happening for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, this trailer, I don't know, kind of is a little concerning to me, because it looks like I hope that's not what this is, like a bunch of cool images in a steampunk-ish kind of setting. Like that's kind of popular right now. Old-timey turn of the century turn of the century Parisian iron structure type stuff. And crossing that with sort of modern, there was like some electronic stuff in there it's like, what's going on,
Well, this is
So-
1899, right? Or is there a time travel where because I'm trying to sort of
Yeah.
tell. I mean, it did
I
look
don't
like
know.
this back in time.
I couldn't really tell what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, with the first episode, it is in 1899. So, but there
Okay.
is these elements of either going forward or backwards. And I don't know. There was some hints of that. So again, there's a lot of interesting sort of setup stuff.
Yeah.
That could potentially be good. It's
Okay.
a question of, can you bring it home? Like you said, and sometimes, in a show, and I watched that show, The Watcher, which 8 episodes, and it was
Yeah,
really
I
cool,
watched that.
3 or 4 or 5. And then it's the one with Naomi Watts. And then it
That's The
completely
Watcher.
completely fell apart the last episode. And you realize they really didn't have an answer to the show.
But they did. They paid it off, but it just wasn't a good payoff. That's all.
It wasn't a good payoff. Yeah. So
it wasn't good.
hopefully,
It was kind of boring payoff, but it was,
Right.
it's a true story apparently. So of course
Yeah,
you're kind of
yeah.
tied to the fact it's a boring true story.
yeah,
but-
exactly.
Again, the scariest thing about The Watcher to me was the whole financial problems they were having and how they were way in over their head. That was so
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this, remember the movie Triangle? It was also on a ship. They
Oh,
find
yeah.
this abandoned
Yeah.
ship and they go on, and there's some kind of weird, like other reality portal that they kind of go through, and they can't
Like
tell where they are. And the ship,
time
like,
displacement
Oh, yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
right. Yeah.
that
So
was
maybe that's-
really great. And I'm wondering if that is partly some of this too. They're bringing some of that in because I thought that was a great movie.
Well, there's what is the old movie where the aircraft carrier goes back in time and helps them win
the
helps them-
Philadelphia experiment. I think that's
Philadelphia
what it
experiment,
right.
or
Right.
and then
Was that-
there's
was
a
that
movie
one called-
called, was it I think yeah,
not.
where they something like that, where they go in and help the guys at Pearl Harbor and all.
Right.
And there's another one called Millennium, which is a weird time travel movie, which I think is kind of an underrated weird film. It's based on a
okay.
John Varley book, but it's one of those sort of it's a trippy airplane time travel thing where remember that movie? It's actually kind of cool.
No.
Millennium.
No, I don't remember it. I don't think I remember the TV show with Lance Henriksen.
Right.
So
No, this
like,
is
uh,
A millennial.
Yeah.
Millennium is a science fiction. I mean, it's with airplanes though instead of a ship, where people from the future grab people off of airplanes that are
Oh, yeah.
crashing and replace their bodies with these sort of like already dead clones or something.
Wasn't that a Stephen King story that was in a series of Jimmy Smith? I forget
That was,
what it's called.
that was the Tommy Knockers,
That's
maybe.
or
Kind of the
the
same, though,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
or the, not the Tommy. There's another one where the Pac-Man are eating time
Oh,
at the
okay.
airport. That was called the Langoliers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that's right.
Langoliers. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have a couple posters that may or may not help. Take a look.
Okay.
So, they're really going for that
The
the
triangle.
mark of the triangle. I think it's kind of weird in this one that because the mark is actually upside down, but their triangle's right side up. I don't know if that means anything, but that's kind of a weird thing. But I guess it's makes more sense design wise. If she's falling, that is wider at the bottom.
Right.
But I think that's pretty cool. It definitely gives you the idea there's something surreal and trippy going on besides just an abandoned ship. That's about it.
Kind of
There's
Inception vibe to it.
yes. It's beautiful though. It's a really, really nicely done. I love the desaturated colors and what is lost will be found. That's the copy
Yeah.
line. Okay.
Oh,
Then we have
that's
this.
okay. That's literally the Bermuda Triangle. And your
Right, yeah.
ship is about to fall into the
That's
triangle.
so
Yeah.
scary looking. Ooh, scary. But yeah, this is just a different take on the key art. They probably have a few pieces. Netflix always does a bunch of different key art for their shows, and they also do tons of thumbnails, so that they'll appeal to whatever your algorithm is telling them.
Right.
So I will be interested in seeing what my thumbnail looks like for my channel because
Right.
it's probably gonna be the worst, most horrifying moment in the show. But yeah, this is another, the same color palette, the same type. They don't have the triangle in the logo on this one because I guess they figure the triangle in the top is enough because it would be kind of repetitive if you saw it
Right.
twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Some posters.
Proximamente.
All
Well, we'll
right.
see.
watching it.
We'll check it out and see what we
Okay.
think, and maybe we'll talk about it if we watch it.
All right.
So,
Production looks pretty nice. Looks like
does.
looks like it's shot nicely and all that stuff, and the hair, makeup, and all that, and production
Yeah.
design and set dressing and props and whatnot look pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like the contrast of their ship, of the rich people, on their ship, and them going, "Oh, we have to go do a humanitarian mission." They're like, "Oh no, we're not.
Right.
Fuck
Yeah.
those people." It's
yeah,
like,
very
so I
much
love the
about-
contrast. There's their ship that's brand new, and the other ship looks really bad. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it makes you wonder: is it the same ship? I don't know.
Maybe some interesting characters, stories, little
We'll see.
vignettes, and
Yeah, I want to see it.
focus
All
on
right.
this character for this episode, another character for another episode.
Yeah, it'll be cool. So I'm gonna
18
definitely check it out.
$18.99 on Netflix. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.